Welcome to the Hire Yourself podcast. If you're ready to take control of your destiny, build wealth, and live life on your own terms, this is the place for you. Each week, Nat and I will talk about business, franchising, and personal growth to help make you more successful. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Pete.
Wow, I am super pumped up today.
What are you super pumped up about?
I got back just a couple weeks ago. We were at a franchise conference in Fort Worth, and I got to tell you, there is so much excitement around franchising right now. So Franchise, kind of the leading franchise consulting network, brought in over 100 great franchise companies, and we spent a couple days talking and learning about, and I got to tell you, there was a ton of buzz in the air.
Yeah, what was that buzz about?
Oh, just franchising, how much energy is behind it. I mean, now we're seeing with all these layoffs, more people are going, I got to find plan B. And so we're seeing some great activity in regards to franchising. Now, when I was at the conference, I ran into an old friend that I've known for, I got to think 12 years. And he's with one of the great franchise companies, so one of the oldest franchise companies that I know of. And guess what? We have him on our podcast today.
That's awesome.
So I'd like to introduce Randy Smith, the president of Fish Window Cleaning. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning, Pete. Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's always great. And I was thinking back when we were getting ready to do this. You and I have known each other for 12 years, I bet.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah, absolutely. And you are with Fish Window Cleaning, and we'll get into Fish, but I got to ask you first. Before you got into franchising, or what got you into franchising?
Well, actually, you mentioned franchise. I'm actually a franchise placement. I met a consultant. I was working at a technology firm for about 10 years after college, and a buddy of mine had decided that he was going to leave and start a business. He told me all about it, and then he introduced me to a franchise consultant who presented me 4 different options, obviously Fish being one of them.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how long ago was that? When did you become a Fish franchisee?
2003. I started the investigation late 2002, and I'd say it was April of 2003. So I'll be celebrating 20 years as a franchisee this spring.
Holy cow, that's great. And where's your franchise location?
Grand Rapids, Michigan, where, by the way, I like to say we get 90 inches of snow every year. So yes, you can clean windows in the snow.
All right. That's good to know. All right. So you were a successful franchisee, and then you find yourself now as the president of Fish Window Cleaning. So how did that happen?
Well, about 2008, I started getting bored running the operation. The key to a successful franchise operation is following somebody else's recipe or program, right? And so
Sure.
I'd done that pretty well. And I went back to that same franchise consultant and looked for some other opportunities. And I couldn't find one that I liked as much as Fish. And so about that time, the owner and founder here, Mike Merrick, asked me to join the staff in an operational capacity. And then I moved over to franchise development for a couple of years, still one of my favorite positions. And then finally in 2014, he asked me to take over as president of the company.
Oh, congratulations. And Fish, it's got a rich history. How long has Fish Window been around?
Well, actually, it's interesting that we're doing this today. Just a couple days ago, we celebrated 45 years in the window cleaning business, starting in 1978. And we've been franchising since 1998. So we celebrated 25 years in franchising just a couple days ago.
Holy cow. That is an incredible track record. And so when we think about them starting this 45 years ago, what got the Merricks into saying, hey, we want to be in the window washing business?
Yeah, well, that's a little bit longer story, Pete. But basically, Mike was a branch manager at a savings and loan, and the local window cleaner was up for sale. It was raise time coming at the location, and he was praying, hey, listen, if I get a good raise, I'll stay at the savings and loan. If not, I'll buy this guy and I'll start the window cleaning business. And instead of getting a raise, the guy fired him. And so Mike saw very clearly his path was window cleaning, and that's where it got started 45 years ago.
Holy cow. All right. So you've been franchising for 25 years. And so let me ask you, how many franchisees do you have now?
We have 215 franchises representing 270 territories in 45 states.
Wow. But I got to imagine you still have room for more franchisees, right? You guys, are you sold out or do you have room for more franchisees?
No, we figure we cover only about 50 to 55% of the country. There is plenty of room for more opportunity at Fish for sure.
Yeah, sure. And when we talk about window washing, I think of window washing as those skyscrapers and the guy hanging on the wires going down that 50-story building, but that's not what Fish window cleaning is.
No, absolutely not. We are ground level route work, 3 stories or less. And a quick story, because my boss is going to be listening to this at some point. I want to switch the terminology to window cleaning. Anybody can wash a window. It takes a professional to clean it. So I got to get that in. So Mike will get a chuckle when he watches this. But
all right.
Yeah, 3 stories or less, Pete. Ground level route work. It's repeating business. Again, I kind of point back to Grand Rapids, Michigan. We get 90 inches of snow. If we were trying to hang off the side of the building or up on ladders in the middle of winter, that wouldn't work so well.
Yeah, so window cleaning, and you do both kind of low glass, 3 stories
Yes,
from a kind of commercial side. And then also you do residential?
We do a little bit of residential, absolutely. Spring, summer, and fall, the residential business makes up, about 20% of our revenues.
Okay, 20%, perfect. Okay, and what separates you guys in the window cleaning industry?
Obviously, our reliability, showing up. We actually almost changed our tagline to "We show up," because just showing up on a regular basis, most of those commercial stops, it's repeating revenue. They want to be seen every 2 to 4 weeks, sometimes the higher end restaurants weekly. But just simply showing up every 14 to 28 days, Pete, and keeping them on a regular schedule is what separates us from the competition.
So you show up and you look professional. I mean, don't they show up in a Fish bright red truck and they got the uniforms?
Pretty much wearing the Fish shirt, a bright red truck, all the cleaning equipment is branded and logoed. Yeah, everything's red. Which, by the way, a trivia question, why are we red? It's Linda Merrick, the founder's wife. It's her favorite color.
That's great. And, I've heard too, and I've had candidates that have invested in Fish window cleaning and they love the thing. But what they shared with me is your training, the training that you provide, and everybody's very professional. So if they come and clean our windows, bottom line is they don't leave any mess or anything else like that. It's very professional.
Absolutely. Actually, the way we pay our cleaners guarantees that they get bonused based on top of quality work. If it's not right, they have to go back out and fix it. So it helps us maintain that high degree of customer satisfaction for sure.
Got it. And as you mentioned earlier, you're only covering about 50% of the market. You're always looking for, I think, good people that want to invest in a business that's been around for a very long time, 25 years. So what do you look for in new franchisees for Fish window cleaning?
Boy, it's actually easier for us to tell you what we're not looking for because we're blessed with a wide variety of skill sets in our system. And really for our franchisees, they have to get out into the market and make it happen. They need to walk into a commercial stop and they need to say, hi, my name's Randy. I'm with Fish Window Clean. Who would I talk to about writing a free estimate to clean your windows? And if they're willing to do that for a few months to get the business off the ground, they'll be a good manager of college kids or school moms or retirees to go out and market the business on their behalf after that. And really, it's a person who likes a nice, simple business. And the huge benefit of Fish is it's no nights, no weekends, no holidays. It's absolutely a lifestyle business. And
sign me up for that. Yeah.
Since I've joined the corporate side, it's been such a blessing to watch people come in and sign up with us and give up that corporate travel and being able to watch their kids and band and music and sports and all those things. So it's a lifestyle. But back to your original question, it's a direction follower who's not afraid to get out and market the business. And that's who we're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. And you are making a difference in the community, right? Because when you're a corporate executive, you're flying around in the plane, stuff like that. You're never around your community. And so with being a small business owner within your community, especially touching all those businesses, that's an impact business.
Absolutely. It's fantastic. You're well known with your commercial clients all around the city, and they see you out doing things. Obviously we're participating in Breast Cancer Awareness Month and all kinds of different things to give back to the community as well.
Ah, that's awesome. And when we talk about being a business owner, so we'll take a step a little bit further, right? So the idea is that when you become an entrepreneur, what characteristics do you think somebody has to have to be a successful entrepreneur?
Well, I always put everything in the context of a franchise owner. So the successful characteristics are that person who's willing to follow someone else's recipe or program. Franchising is not for everyone. If you're the type of person that wants to tinker around with things, I'd second guess franchising. But if you want to come in and follow someone else's system, and you get to put your own cultural stamp on the business for sure. But I'm looking for somebody, that will follow the recipe to the letter of the law. Those are the folks that come in and do very well with Fish and any other franchise for that matter.
Agreed, right? You have to follow the system. Now you can make it better, to your point, put your personal touch on it, but you gotta follow the system. What else? What other characteristics?
Oh, I think someone who wants to lead by example, get out there, not be afraid to make it happen themselves and show their employees the path. Good communicators, making sure that they're staying in touch with their staff, giving them the tools that they need to do the job. Most businesses, in my opinion, Pete, they're a reflection of the employees. The owner is the leader, but the people making it happen are out on the street. So we spend an awful lot of time with our window cleaners, making sure that they're trained properly, that they can talk to the customers and perform the service well. So I think it's leading your employees, being able to put a lot of time and energy into them because they are your company.
Yeah, absolutely. They represent your company. Perfect. That's so leadership. Got it.
Leadership.
Now, when we talk about kind of personal development, I always like to ask, for you, is there a favorite book that's really touched you? Do you have a favorite book?
I'm actually not a huge reader, but I do have one. I kind of like that one. This guy, he was really smart with all the concepts in there. In fact, if you remember when I was talking to you about this, when you put the book together, I really wanted to write a book on franchising, but after reading yours, I'm like, well, that's already been done. But
all right.
I'm not a huge reader. Christian guy. I put my faith and trust in God. I like the Bible. But beyond that, just read mostly for entertainment, golf books and those things, Pete.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. All right. So great play on the book, by the way. Thank you so much. And I think you put a little quote in there, so I appreciate that. Now, also, when we talk about growing, I always ask people, what's the best piece of advice somebody's ever given you?
Boy, and I wish I could say who did this. I don't even remember if I read this out of a book somewhere or whatnot. But for me, it's surrounding yourself with people that are smarter than you, and then giving them the tools and getting out of their way and letting them do their thing. And so I do that whether it's in my own franchise location or here at corporate headquarters. I can unequivocally tell you that the people that work for me, my direct reports, are all smarter than I am, Pete. They're fantastic at what they do, and it's my job to just kind of put it all together and make sure they have what they need to do their jobs.
Give them the runway. Absolutely. No, that's a great piece of advice. Thank you for sharing that. And then, do you have somebody, a thought leader you follow, like a Tony Robbins or somebody? Is there somebody you follow?
Not really. I kind of look back towards those key leaders in franchising. I'm blessed to serve on the board at the International Franchise Association. I think of some of my friends up there, whether it's Shelley Sun or David Barr or Catherine Monson, all those people, they're leading the way in franchising. So I kind of try and stay close to them and pick their brain as much as possible. And all three of them specifically were great as they led us through the COVID issues the past couple of years. So that's kind of where I seek extra advice, Pete.
Yeah. And seeing that you're on the board, we're going to use that to our advantage here. What do you see going forward with franchising? I mean, what I'm getting a sense is franchising is just booming right now. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think, and this is my story as well, franchising is taking great mid-level managers and showing them the dream of business ownership. It's so challenging for people to start a business outside of franchising. And these numbers, the people that start the business on their own, that's a long runway and it doesn't always lead to where they want to go. But if you follow that path in franchising, you got a pretty good chance of success in achieving those dreams of business ownership without all the risk. I'm a huge believer in franchising. I see it at the IFA. I see people coming in And that's what we're fighting hard for at the IFA level, is making sure we've got a clear path to involve as many people as we can in this great industry.
Yeah, right. I mean, I call it entrepreneur life franchising, right? You bring your leadership skills, your business acumen, and you follow a system. And if you follow the system, you make less mistakes, increase your probability or success ratio. So absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Randy, congratulations on all your success, both as a franchisee as well as the president of Fish Window Cleaning. And it was a real pleasure to have you here. And I'd love to have you back again sometime, but thank you for joining us today.
Well, Pete, thank you so much. I always say thank you for what you do. I would not have been able to achieve these dreams if it wasn't for a guy like you that showed me window cleaning, which obviously isn't one that comes to mind right off the top of your head. So thank you for what you do for your clients as well. It's fantastic.
Thanks for listening to the Hire Yourself podcast. For more resources, check out our website at hireyourself.com. And remember to subscribe to this podcast to receive each episode. Please leave us a rating, and we'd love to hear your feedback or suggestions for topics.